welcome to the Pokemon GO Podcast, where my watch will not stop vibrating on my wrist because all of a sudden everybody has to have my attention. But no, I am here for the show. I'm the Rock God of Podcasting, Charles McFall. Right there is Embrace the Joseph _R.
Yep.
No, that's how the whole show is going to be. Right.
Oh, man. And if you can look on my screen, there's something that you rarely see in-game in the South.
Durant's?
No. There's a little symbol in the top right. There's a little snowman.
Is there a snowflake? Oh, I didn't see the snowman. Okay.
Yeah, so I am currently in quote-unquote snowy weather because we got like two snowflakes here.
You and your wife?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, they called out school today because there was a chance of a flurry, and there's a 2-hour delay tomorrow because there was a chance of a flurry today. So
Oh man, that's still better in Georgia. Georgia, if it gets below 40, we know freezing temperature is 32. We're all smart.
Mhm.
Well, maybe not all of us. I'm smart. I know what freezing temperature is. But if it hits like 40 degrees or less and it's going to rain, everything is closed. I mean, I made the joke that, old Bubba spits on the road and it's 38 degrees, everything shuts down. But here's the thing, man. I saw this video that recently. This guy in Alabama, he's a TikToker, and he said, people visiting the South, oh, it's so nice that it's 70 degrees in January. Everybody who lives in the South, we're going to die. And that's because we know what comes after the heat, and it should not be this hot in January.
It's tornadoes. That's why we had tornado warnings last week.
Not just tornadoes, but there's, this is the same kind of weather that built up the Snowmageddon, So
well, and it was such an abrupt snap. It literally was in the 70s last week, and then this week in the teens. So
I don't know, and it's just up and down. It's crazy. So February, people, don't be surprised. Me and Joe are sitting here going, "Yeah, we haven't left the house in a week because it's iced out outside." And everybody who lives in North Dakota is like, "Get over it!" Like, no, you move. So all right.
My buddy took a picture yesterday at Walmart of the milk section, completely and utterly empty. Like off to the side, you could see a couple of gallons of chocolate milk, but all of the white milk gone completely. Yeah, 100%.
Don't ever understand that at all. One, milk is not that healthy for you to drink all the time. Period. I mean, it's good, whatever. There's other better sources of calcium, like broccoli, perhaps. I think that's right. But anyway, there's other sources of calcium out there other than milk. Anyway, I've never understood.
When in doubt, you can have cereal.
I can have cereal without milk. I've got beer. It's all right.
We were ordering.
That aisle doesn't get knocked out with bad weather, but everybody's got to have the milk sandwiches. And I say that loud every time I go to the store because we'll forget, a storm's coming, or they say it might snow because we don't pay attention. We don't care. If I have to leave the house, I got to leave the house. And if it's dangerous, then I got to make other situations, but I don't worry about it. And we plan ahead. We have a float of our groceries. So we accidentally go into a grocery store when there's some kind of, like your situation where it might snow and people are grabbing them. I was like, all the milk sandwiches, you better get them. You better get them because that's the only thing you can eat when the snow comes is milk sandwiches.
So. Well, I mean, we grabbed a couple of gallons of milk today. Apparently they had restocked some, but it's mostly because we drink a lot of milk in my family in general. It wasn't any more than
I'm not saying it's bad. I enjoy my milk.
Yeah, well, and our 2-year-old especially loves his milk. So, but anyway, this is not the Weather and Milk podcast. This is the Pokemon GO podcast. So how was your week this last week in Pokemon GO?
Non-existent.
Non-existent.
Actually, almost literally. I just got invited to a raid battle. Let me see if I can jump in, Nolte.
Yeah, but is it already going? Because I'm in one.
1 minute, so it might be going. Oh. Is it Nolte that you're playing with?
I can't remember. I didn't check the name. I'm in a Heatran raid.
We're in a. I don't have bad weather. Go away. I definitely don't care about your blog.
Well, like we've mentioned before, anytime that there is any kind of weather advisory, regardless of what it is, Niantic's going to be like, hey,
Yeah.
there's severe weather. There's a warning. Make sure
Yeah.
you're okay. It's just one of those CMA moves. So
No, I got it. All right, there's my invite popping up. Let's see if I can get it's Alberel, I think is what it says. Obama. Oh, Obama. So
okay, I was like, it's a what?
I don't know. My
Obama show.
eyes saw something. Yep, I'm in. I'm in with Nolte. So
Okay. Well, you know what would help
no,
a
I'm in with
lot?
Alberel. That's who invited me. Alberel invited me, whoever that is.
You know
So
what
I'm feeling
would
like
help a
going to the
lot with
weather.
that though?
What?
The dentist from Rudolph. He could take out that abominable
Herbie?
snowman.
You don't remember Herbie being the name?
Uh,
Joseph.
Yukon could help too.
Yeah. I love Mr. Tamrain says, but they won't adjust the Pokemon to fit the weather. That's true. So yeah, no, my experience has been all right this week. Just really busy as is the case. I mean, literally, my life is to the point that I don't know what I'm doing each day. Yeah, I might get a phone call to get on a truck. I might, which didn't happen. It happened a lot last week, but there's reasons for it to not be happening as much anymore. But like I sit down, I start working on a list of things I need to get done. Sometimes it's here at the house in the office right here. Sometimes it's going to an office. But every day something changes, and I put in a lot of time. Anyway, how
Man,
about you, bro?
man, you're breaking up.
You're
Breaking
breaking.
up quite a bit.
I'm not breaking up. I'm just fine. You know, here's the thing, though. Truthfully, Joe and I had some issues starting off, and the audio was just cutting out, and we both did speed tests, and we both came up solid. So I don't know what's going on. So for the podcast, I sound wonderful. For the Twitch, I mean, who cares? It's Mr. Tambourine. I mean, come on.
For the podcast, I suppose I sound less than ideal.
No, you haven't been breaking up at all.
All right. Well, that's good.
But
We're not breaking up this party. It's been together for 5.5 years, and we're still going strong. The spark is still in the relationship.
McFall R 2024.
Actually, there really isn't a spark in this relationship because we don't have any instinct people on the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, so this week, let's check age 0 through 7 and see what we got up to this past week. Yes, I hatched another Sandile, so that's pretty nice. I still don't have enough to fully evolve it yet, but I did evolve it into a a Krokorok. So that's nice. I also snagged myself another Tortuga. This was from the special research for level 43 people. So that's pretty awesome there. So now I've got 2 of those and the so I'll probably end up trading one to the autistic kid that I've got at my church because he keeps asking me if I have an extra, and I'm like, no, I've just got the one, but now I've got a second one, so I'll probably end up tossing it his way. Gotten that Heatran raid just now, so that was a lot of fun. I did get out a little bit for the Solosis Spotlight Hour. Did some transferring since there was the double transfer candy. But all in all, it's been a pretty generic week. I've been transferring most of the stuff that I've been catching. So when I do age 0 through 7, that's probably maybe 1/10 of, if that, of what I caught this past week. So, yep.
All right, well, there you go. As soon as I finish this battle, I can help pull up Discord, and you're doing the Venonat thing there.
Yeah, I'll pull up Discord.
I think I missed a few invites for raids. To be honest, and real quick, first time chatter from Reapery T 4007. Hello. I was typing hello. I'm gonna do at them. I forgot to put the at. I just put their name in the chat when I type back to them. But yeah. Look at you with some shiny. Are those your shinies?
No. Those are Posty 1 Kenobis.
Okay. You went over to the Discord. I thought you missed something. I was like, look at you with some shinies. So what does Posty have? And that's called Robin, right?
I can't remember.
Because whoever it was changed their name to Posty because that's what their Discord name was, Posty One Kenobi.
Yeah. Their name in game is Posty One Kenobi, and now their name in Discord is Posty One Kenobi. I'm blanking on what their name used to be, but
I don't think. Yeah, I want to say Hallowed Run, but it doesn't matter. It's okay.
it used to be in parentheses. So, but anyway, shiny Vulpix, 2 of them, a shiny Snorunt and a shiny Talo. We have King of the Shinies. Nulty. Nulty is King of the Shinies. You renamed
I renamed
him. With a shiny Delibird, Stantler, and the Glaceon with the Winter Glaceon with the shawl.
The shawl.
And then this is pretty sweet. It's not necessarily Pokemon themed, but Civilian shared a new keyboard that he's got, and it's got a One Piece, and it's what was it? PlayStation. Yeah, let's see. What did he say? Wow, my thing went all weird. Okay, so it's
all crazy.
PlayStation and One Piece themed. So on the space bar, you can see the One Piece characters, and then the coloration is PlayStation themed. It's a pretty sweet keyboard.
Pretty cool.
Yeah,
he built it himself, which is diggable.
So,
Miss Chamarine did say Salad Robin. I thought so.
Okay. And then we've got Coach Kev here with a bunch of shinies. So we've got Delibird, Glaceon with a shawl. We've got the Sveal, the holiday Sveal with the scarf. Cubchoo, Stantler, Pikachu, and I feel like we looked at these last week, like right towards the end. But anyway, Pikachu and a Raichu.
I don't know. This particular run doesn't seem familiar, but maybe.
Yeah, or maybe it seems familiar because I've looked at these before because it's in the Discord. And this one definitely is familiar because it's a shiny Darumaka, the whole family from Coach Kev. So I must have scrolled too far.
I'm not sure.
Kittens and High Fives. This was sent during the recording. Kittens and High Fives got the shiny Kyurem last week.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that coming in.
Devo Sight hit level 42 this past week, and finally, he finally evolved his final Eevee. I don't know which one it was. He didn't state, and his buddy is still Eevee, so I don't know which one it was. Was his last one? I'm guessing Sylveon, but I could be wrong. Devo Sight caught a shiny Pikachu for his birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, indeed.
Trying to outshine Jesus by being born a day after Christmas or whatever.
So, that's what he means by the shiny Pikachu. Do you see it on his shelf? The silver Pikachu? So he's got that up with
on the main screen. We see the silver Pikachu's hand, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, that's not coming in very good, is it? There we go. Sorry, I put it sideways, and that messed up with our mirroring.
Okay, that thing's scarier than Elf on the Shelf. I'm just telling you right now. that's a Pikachu. I don't want to peek at him.
That's like a Terminator Pikachu.
T2. It's P2. Pikachu 2. There you go. Look at people using commands. Reaper ET came in first time chatter. Throw out Discord to figure out where our Discord was.
Yeah, so that is we don't really go on to that particular Discord, the RJS Run Jump Stomp.
The Patreon one is our main Discord.
Yeah.
The other one, actually, that channel that the channel we had on the RJS server is gone now, I think.
But I mean, you could hop on the RJS. RJS stands for Run Jump Stomp. The Run Jump Stomp server is pretty awesome. So assuming that Tiny CC still works, for our podcast listeners, that's TinyCC or tiny.cc/PGP Discord. And there's a lot of awesome people in there.
I just got a Matrix Resurrection ad on our video. Loved it. Loved it.
I haven't seen it, so
you're missing out, my friend.
All right. I mean, it's brand new, and I don't go to the theater all that often, especially now.
I have HBO Max, so I didn't go to the theater either. I pulled it up on a beautiful a UHD screen and watched it.
Maybe I'll have to see if one of my siblings has HBO Max. I mean, Mr. Tambourine with the New Year's Day Catch, a shiny Wurmple with a hat that can't evolve. Uh, and then, and then we've got Nulty with a Hundo Gumi, and also some new shinies: a Nidorino with a hat, a shiny Heatran, and a shiny Onyx. And that is the experiences of the week from our
Of the
Discord.
week.
Yeah.
Um, so what about Reddit and our chat about what is your 2022 Pokemon Go look like?
Yes. So we do have one comment on our Reddit page, and then do you have pulled up the Spotify one?
I do, but we don't have any answers yet.
Okay. All right. So from Budget Bar 1123, uh, he says that he's heading for that 50 somehow. Although those excellent throws look painful. I can't even remember how many excellent throws you need for level 50.
Too many.
It's a lot. Let's see. I'm gonna actually Google it real quick. 999 excellent throws. So you need just shy of 1,000 excellent throws in order to move from level 49 to 50. Now, granted, you need so much experience that it's going to take you a while to do it anyway. So maybe it's not actually that bad, at least if you're making a concerted effort. But
I don't know, man.
yes.
I got 999 throws, but excellent ain't one. Hit me.
So
Uh,
what is your 2022 gonna look like for Pokemon Go?
well, we talk about maybe predictions, maybe desires. Yeah, I predict they're by before the end of 2022. I think Niantic is going to take a hard turn and really, really push into the AR world. With Meta coming up and them being a big factor in that, and we know they're a technology company. I think this game is going to really shift into areas that a lot of players who play currently don't seem to want. Then I think it's going to be more of the same, to be honest. If we really look at 2021, my feeling now, this is where I play from. So it could be just me being a filthy casual and it not being hardcore about everything. I think we're going to get, good 50 to 60% good community days and 50 to 40 to 50% bad community days. Like, oh, we're having that again. Um, I think we're gonna have a lot of basic events that they've really shown how to do. They'll keep these tournaments rolling. Um, I depending on how the world goes, I think we're gonna actually have a real Pokemon Go Fest again, as in go to
Now,
one city.
do you think that they'll still do satellite locations for that? So this last Go Fest, they
It's
did
hard to say, honestly.
multiple locations. I bet there will still be a ticket available for around the world. I'm guessing that they
Yeah, I
really
agree with
liked the money from that.
I just don't think. Well, I mean, it depends on what they spent on it. They didn't rent out Woodruff Park in Atlanta because you could just walk in and out as you please, as people did. We saw at least one person peeing on the sidewalk, didn't we? I think. Uh, but I just jesting. It's Mr. Tambourine. I told him I wouldn't tell, but oh well. Uh, but so it's not like they had to pull permits for the satellite location. At least in Atlanta, they didn't have to pull permits for the satellite location.
Yeah,
They didn't have
they
to do special, other than they had one or two people who may have been volunteers come out, and there was like a standee that you take a picture with, and that was about it.
yeah, they didn't have to bring in the cows, the mobile.
Yeah,
I can't. I'm trying to remember what cow stands for, but the basically the
the mobile device.
the mobile towers,
Yep.
the mobile towers.
So I think there could be satellite. I think they can encourage you to go out the parks, and maybe they'll do more and more cities of like, hey, in this city we know we have 3 or 4 people who are willing to go and put on a Pokemon shirt and sit there and hand out Pikachu fans and whatever. And they could do it, but I think it'll be a one major location. But I do agree the world will have a digital ticket to play with. I think we're gonna get more generational release. It seems to be slowing down a little bit, and that's okay.
Well, that makes
We're gonna
sense
get
because they're
more
starting to run
shinies,
out.
and we're gonna get more hats. And that's the problem, Joe. if they run out, they get up to Series 8, right? Well, I guess technically it's Galarian. They've already dabbled with Galarian, but Sword and Shield would be technically Series 9, wouldn't it, or Gen 9?
Yeah, so they've dabbled ahead of some because they didn't fully do Generation 6. So, but I don't know, they've just been bouncing around a lot more lately. But we still don't even have like Kecleon. Kecleon's from Gen 3, and we still don't have it. And so, yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll finally get Kecleon.
Maybe.
Maybe.
So I mean, that's my predictions. Is what does mine look like? Same thing every night. Pinky take over the world, which means I'm not playing the game very often. So for me, it's just going to be about the shadows, and I think we're beyond at this point. We're beyond any major upgrades or changes, and oh my god moments. Um, but that's just me.
My
What do you?
guess is Niantic was really hoping that Google Glasses would have made it further along by now, so that they could
Especially since I
incorporate it.
can work on that project.
Yeah. My guess is that they were really hoping on that. Clearly, that didn't come to fruition. Mr. Tambourine mentions we
Yep,
still haven't seen Pokemon Sleep. That
agreed.
is very true. That got pushed back, so we don't know the details on that, and if it will integrate at all with Pokemon Go. Um, yeah,
Well, now the fact that they're really tied into this Meta project in a big way, like they're one of the big named companies that's a part of it. There are many companies that are part of it. Meta slash Facebook being the leader in it,
yeah.
but Niantic is right up there in the same channels.
Do
I
you
think
think? Do you
we're gonna
real
see more
quick?
AR in this game.
Do you think we'll see NFTs be incorporated into the game?
That is a very good question because I understand NFTs enough to understand what you're saying and think yes, they could. I don't understand it enough to know value and how it gets value and becomes a thing. So if it becomes more valuable, perhaps only if you buy the extra bonus ticket, do you get a this is what this is what it's going to be. Joe, without a doubt, this is what it's going to be. If you pay the extra five, and I know it's $1 for the community day, but with NFTs, it's going to be $5 or $10, right? You pay the extra money, you're going to get a Pikachu party hat NFT. And no, I will never do it. I don't care if it make me a millionaire. I ain't doing it.
I
You know, it's going to be something like that. It is.
I bet if it made you $1 million and you knew it would, you would definitely do
Okay, I would. I would. I'm a
it.
businessman at heart. I would absolutely make money on something I hated because it's going to make me money, without a doubt. Um, you know what? They have all the badges. They have all these. I don't think they're stupid stickers. I think they're pointless. It's fun to look at for a brief moment, and now you have your book. And last week we talked about the not safe for work one, which was it was not safe for work. It wasn't as blatant as I thought it was going to be. I can see why it made it through, especially locally. They have kind of a different culture, whatever. But um, you know, they have the stickers. They have the postcards. Is what I was thinking of, which had the picture from Australia, or whatever on it. I think they could easily do NFTs. Will they? That really just depends on how far into meta they get. Because I really think the shift is going to be really pushing AR personally in
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, no, definitely. Um Man, yeah,
What do you want? What would you hope for? Because I don't know enough about the game to hope for something in the game. But what would you hope for as a fan of the series?
at this point with Niantic spearheading all of this, I don't dare hope for what I would like to see, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Because it's not gonna happen. There's a bunch of stuff that I would love to see happen. They're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
It's just not. Now I wonder because they kind of teased it. Was it this last year or the year before? They with part of the AR, they had those Bluetooth speakers so that your Pokemon could
Yep.
make noises through your
When
phone.
you did the park
Yeah.
thing.
Um, and so I don't know. Are they gonna roll that out to everybody, or was that just kind of a "Hey, look at what we did" thing, and it only was used in the office?
I think it's the second one.
Probably. I know companies like Google and a lot of other companies do it as well. Will give their developers a certain amount of free time in the work week in order to do their own passion projects. and those could get incorporated or not get incorporated
Yes.
into the software, or that's actually how Niantic branched off of Google. Was it started off as one of those little side
It was like alpha
projects?
or something, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and so um, yeah, so we'll see. I I being realistic, I don't see Niantic making a lot of change, like drastic changes to the game. You said that earlier as well. I don't see them making giant sweeping changes. I think they are happy with um, how a lot of the game is right now, and they're just gonna let it sit. Like for instance, the gym system. We've had this same gym system for
Yes.
three and a
A year.
half years now, something like that, um, or maybe even 4 years at this point. And so they seem quite happy with it. They don't need to make changes. Whereas, there were some very obvious flaws with the previous gym system, considering it would take 45 minutes to take down a level 10 gym back in the day.
Yeah.
Um,
It was a good investment in time.
yeah,
And
and
honestly, though, you got to return your investment because they would live in there for a while and just crank out coins.
yeah, well, and I don't know. Maybe we'll finally see some of these beta stuff that they've tried. Like in New Zealand, they had those
Sure.
daily missions that they had where you could get coins from that. But they, as far as I know, they scrapped that altogether. So I don't know. I don't know.
I will say this falls right into their genre, their subset, their passion, and it falls into a new toy that I have, the Oculus 2. It is Facebook, well, it's Meta owned, and lots of decent games on it. We've been playing a bunch of different things, and of everybody in this house, my wife hasn't tried it yet, which is odd, but we're gonna work on that part. But I would love to say, okay, my doorbell is going off. It's right mid show, so apparently we got some kind of package delivered late. Okay. All right, somebody's up there and had it. In School of Rock says it's been the same gym system since mid 2017. Uh, I'll say okay. So I've got the Oculus Rift 2, and I would love to see some kind of VR play there. I would love to be able to jump into a world, even for a little bit, a demo or something. Come on, do it. I'm trying to buy coins so I can get into this raid. Um, I'd like to see VR do that, right? Let it because Oculus already streams to my phone. Let it somehow tie into this game. So, or I don't know, Joe, but I don't want a standalone Pokemon VR game. I want to be able to do Pokemon Go just for a minute, just be able to look around, like you're talking about with the park. You can go to the Pokemon park, right? And only there can through your phone you could probably see the other people's Pokemons with them, right? Their buddies, and the speaker, like you said, the little pokey speaker that would make sounds and whatever. Let's take that idea and put it into the Oculus Rift to where I could look around and go, oh, cool. I'm about to do this remote raid, and I can stand here and look at the big dude that my Pokemon's fighting. And still, I mean, even if it's something as dumb as in the middle of the air, I'm just using my controller to tap the button. That would be interesting step for me. Obviously, not a game changer, not a huge adoption rate,
Yeah.
but it does fit with where they're going. You know what
See,
I'm saying?
see, I think a full integration like that would almost serve better in a Pokemon Snap esque game. And then could you imagine if they did something similar where they had like
Yeah.
photo leaderboards for people to get the best photos with AR photos and things like that? That would actually, I could see that happening. If Niantic put it so that you could, well, I think it would be cool. Let's say that because now that I think about it, they don't they probably don't want people submitting photos to a public board without they would need some
Yeah.
robust checks on those so that
Yeah.
there wasn't some sketchiness going on because it's
Yeah, you're right. The world is the world.
Yeah,
It needs some monitoring.
but that would be pretty neat if they allowed people to more than just Twitter with a hashtag, actually submit it and vote on it, and maybe like AR picture of the week, and you get some kind of reward in the game, or I don't. If they really wanted to boost AR usage, they would need to do something like that, because in general, from everything I've read and from everything I've seen, and my own opinion, no one really cares about the AR.
Yeah, it's cool, but why? I don't need to hold my phone up unless you can physically hunt when I'm playing. I usually just need to get it captured and move on. Whereas if I sit down with my VR headset, I'm literally sitting down to play video games in VR. That's where I'd be like, oh, let me look around. Let me kind of sneak up on this Pokemon.
Yeah.
So,
well, and
we did get. I forgot. We did get one response about what they wish for in 2022. Phil Keating says he wishes you would send him gifts and open his gifts so you can be best friends.
I sent him 1 or 2 gifts this past week.
I don't know. He didn't say that. I just figured you hadn't sent him crap. I threw it in.
Take me to church.
So, next, no, that's coming. That's coming up. So next week, what would you like to discuss, my friends?
Let's think about it while we go to commercial.
All right. We'll be back in just a minute.
You and your ice chomping.
Mm-hmm.
Chompa.
Me and Reggie C have a lot in common.
Well, we could talk about, kind of continue this conversation, say, hey, what AR features would you like to see added to the game?
Yeah. All right. Let's see. All right. That was weird.
Dun, dun, dun. It unmuted you again?
That was weird.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, when you were in the ad, it unmuted me.
It really likes unmuting you.
It does. A lot. All right. Put this in. Yeah, let's do. Oh, yeah. All right. Now, we actually, as part of the experience, really, as I was getting ready for the show, everybody's heard of, well, I don't know if everybody has heard of it, but Spotify is doing Wrapped for everybody, right? What's your musical aura? What did you listen to this year? What's your focus words? It sounds fun. I haven't actually looked at my personal one. In addition, was they did an episode recently with theirs, and it was kind of interesting. But on top of that, Spotify for podcasters is doing a Wrapped, and we've got some interesting things to know about the show, and a little segment we like to call "Take Me to Church." Oh, my dear brothers and sisters, we are gathered here today to look at what we have done in this past year on Spotify. Now, everybody knows the Church of Pokemon has been going on since how long, Joe? 6.5 years, something like that. I don't know.
I was gonna say 1 week, but
yeah, no, the show.
5.5 years.
We joined Spotify because we were on Anchor last year about this time, and here's some things that they have told us, Brother Joe. On January 14th, you released your first episode of the year. Now, this is a lie. This is a devil of a lie by Team Rocket and those heathens. We actually released our first episode back when the first show, when the game showed up. I can't keep the voice up the whole time. But here, Pokemon GO Podcast episode 230 was our first episode. And that's what we hit Spotify with. That's got to feel good. Let's see. Let's read this next one.
Oh, Spotify.
Your show made some new friends and new places. You got your first streams in Denmark, of all places. It's the Pokelight district that they showed up in. You had some impressive growth this year. All Our hours went up 221%. Followers up 194%. Brother Joe, you are not out there proselytizing about the Church of Pokemon enough. We need to be up 195%, not 194, sir. Get it together. 178% and listeners went up 82%. This is going to be a hard segment to do in this voice. In 2021, you and your fans had a moment. Many of them, actually. I don't even know what that means. But brothers and sisters, we have moments. 87 fans listen to you more than any other podcast. I will take that off of Spotify.
What was that percentage?
87 fans listen to us more than any other podcaster. We are the First Baptist Church of Pokemon, not the Second Methodist Church. We do better.
Oh, man. Good old statistics.
10 fans spent their birthdays listening to us. I hope you like cake. Cake is a lie. The cake is a lie. But those 10 fans spending their birthdays listening to us, yeah, get a life.
No.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday is what I'm going to say. 4 fans ringing the new year. 4 fans ringing the new year with us. Putting a spin on day one fans. Oh, dig it. Holy crap. These numbers are not right. It's supposed to be 6 things. This is like the 5th panel, and we're 3 out of 6. I can't do the church voice the whole time. 7 fans listen to you on International Podcast Day. That's cool.
What day is that?
I don't remember. I know they make a big deal of it on the internet. I don't know. I've never been. I'm too busy usually. 30 fans listen to most. I don't like how this is phrased, Joe. 30 fans listen to most of your episodes. They're hanging on to your every word. I wonder one of them is Barry Full.
He sent Charles a picture of himself this past week.
That picture was a lie, sir. We're not sure what they play in outer space, but here's how your fans around the globe listen to you. 32% of your fans listen to you between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m., making it at work, making it the most popular time. Yeah, well, that's when you listen to podcasts is when you're working.
During their lunch break.
Dude, we released 2,664 minutes of content across 40 episodes. We only put out 40. It's 52 weeks in the year. We didn't miss that many weeks in the year. That number seems off. Now, January 14th, it starts. That's 2 weeks in. We missed Thanksgiving. The number's off. It should be higher than 40. All right. Thank you for okay, no, that's it. That's it for Spotify for podcasters. I did not plan accordingly when I thought I was going to make it this segment. Well, it helps if I turn the volume up. Take me to church. Brother Joe, it is time for you to take the pulpit and read from the blessed book of the headlines.
Oh, man. All right, so the first headline we've got here is Community Day Classic is going to be a thing. I'm curious to see if now we're just going to basically get 2 community days a month, because that's basically what this is. They're bringing back Bulbasaur on Saturday the 22nd, although it's only 3 hours, not the full 6. It's 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. local time, and so I don't know. We'll see. We will see. But it's Bulbasaur. It is with the same move. It's the Frenzy Plant that he can learn if you evolve it up to Venusaur during that time frame. They're selling the $1 ticket, so if you want to get that extra little bit from it, then all right. There's triple catch experience. Incense and lore modules are extended, and then you can take snapshots. Like it's literally Community Day, but only 3 hours instead of 6. So, like I said, I wonder if we're gonna just basically have 2 community days a month now, because we already had a community day this month.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Or
yeah.
sorry, or Wait,
Now,
did we?
okay, yes. Look, look,
I was
look.
thinking. Sorry, I was thinking about this past one that we had in this
What
December. What did we
seal?
have?
Seal? Wasn't seal?
So yeah, we're having
Yes,
Spiel. They
we're having
announced
seal. So
that's
the title though, Community Day Classic. So yes, I think it is a second Community Day because it's classic. It's bringing back Bulbasaur as opposed to just well, let's be real. How the internet would look at it is instead of wasting a Community Day on something that most people have already dealt with, they're bringing back a classic. So does that mean in December we're going to have 4 community days?
oh
Yeah, 2 days of classic, 2 days of this year?
maybe maybe. I mean, this will be good for a lot of people who either missed the community day before,
Or
since they've had, you know, 4 other chances to get this Bulbasaur. Although Mr. Tambourine says that he's excited because he needs the Bulbasaur candy. Really, I like it's good for those people, but it almost also just feels like a money grab because they're like, hey, those dollars that are coming in for the community day research, we like those. Let's double that. You know what I mean?
you know?
That's kind of
Yeah.
how it feels to me. But there will if it depends on are they just going to go through all of them again, or are they only going to do ones that actually excite people? It'll be curious to see how they do
Well,
this.
that's a non-starter, right? Because what excites you doesn't get me excited and vice versa. Uh, but
Well, in general, like for the community in general, starters tend to
yeah,
excite people,
I love their starters.
and the pseudo legendaries like Gibble, for example, or Dratini, or anything like that. The pseudo legendaries and the starters are the ones that people tend to get the most hyped over. School of Rocketti says that he hopes that they um, stick to PvP relevant Pokemon as well. Um,
Which I would think they would because again, money drives their choices because they're a business. And what gets the most money is community day and PvP in my guesstimations,
well,
right?
and we've talked about it before. They are putting out more Pokemon than the main series games can keep up with. So they're quickly going to run out of new Pokemon to do. So
Ooh,
rehashing some of this old stuff and
yeah.
trying to, well, like I said before, trying to cash out on it, trying to do the
Do
money
you
grab.
think we will get a unique Pokemon for this game?
We already have Meltan.
That's right. I don't keep that. You're right. You're right. You're right. They made that for, and then you can send him into other games. Now, has he made an appearance in any of the other games since this game, or just
I
straight into the?
don't think he's appeared in other games wild, but like you said, we can send a Meltan from
Yeah,
this
yeah.
game to the other games, so you can send it to the
I
other
guess the
games.
question would be, do you think they'll start doing more? I mean, Meltan seemed to go over really well. I don't
And
remember a whole lot of hate for Meltan.
when Meltan first popped up, there was a lot of hype because it was just I don't know if you remember, but they just without talking to anybody, Meltan started appearing in the game. Granted, they all turned into Ditto, but
Yeah, I do remember
they
because there's an
started
action.
popping up in game, um, for like it was like for an hour.
Yeah,
They didn't give us any heads up or anything. It was just bam, there's Meltan, and they actually did something similar briefly with Kecleon. We still don't have Kecleon in the game, but very briefly, Kecleon could be caught in the game, but it turned into Ditto. And
yeah.
so, yeah.
Now, School Rocket brings up the point about the classic. He likes it doing this way, helps prevent FOMO, which is the fear of missing out. And in any good game, we're talking about it's been 6 some odd years that they've been doing this, 5 years, whatever it is. You're bound to lose people, have them come back. You're bound to have uh new players discover the game, those kind of things. Hey, you're getting a battle from a new listener. Be nice, but beat him, Joe. Don't let him punk you out like
I
that.
clicked Let's Battle, but I don't think it registered it. They're
Yeah.
only level 12, so.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Now, how could you battle there's remote battles still? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't battle that much. Okay. We used to get invites all the time on the show, and it's like, yeah, okay, cool. I don't know. All right, moving on.
Yeah. So
Get
anyway,
ready to rock and roll through. It'd be helpful. It came out through the Season of Heritage's Mountains of Power event. Yeah, that's not a mouthful. And look, we're getting Porcudactyl coming to us. It looks like,
well, it's
or
Mega
hipster Aerodactyl that wants to look punk. I mean, I don't know. This teenage Aerodactyl who's trying to be rebellious, but he still likes Taylor Swift.
Okay. No, that's Mega Aerodactyl that you're seeing there.
Is it mega though? Because I mean,
spiky.
he's smaller than Spark standing there. I'm just saying.
It's perspective. He's like 20 miles away.
Okay, that's if he's 20 miles away. That's pretty mega.
Oh man. So yeah, so we've got Mega Aerodactyl raids coming tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. But the Mountains of Power, we have half walking distance to earn hearts with your buddy. We have some time to research. They are mixing up the wild encounters. If I'm not mistaken, we have an infographic here. Yeah, it just says Mountains of Power. So we have an infographic as well that helps describe this event. We are getting a shiny debut from Slugma. And every time I think of Slugma now, I think of a certain skit that was done at DragonCon.
Yeah, you honestly you had to be there. No, you didn't have to be there. It's on
it's recorded. It's on YouTube.
It's on our Digital Media Track YouTube channel. Yeah, it's so good. That was such a great 45 minutes, hour, whatever it was. It was good.
Yeah. So, and then part of the time to research, you can get Mawile or Beldum, both of which could be shiny. Yeah. So we've got Slugma shiny making its debut. And then in the wild, we've got Zubat, Machop. Basically, these are like, well, mountains. It's a mountain biome. So Zubat, Machop, Geodude, Slugma, Nosepass, Barboach, Onyx, and Ferroseed. And then they're mixing up the raids as well. And like I said before, Mega Raids, we're getting Mega Aerodactyl. What do you think of the Slugma shiny?
All right, I have to go look at the picture.
So,
honestly, I didn't even notice the difference when I scrolled through. I'm looking now.
You'll notice the difference when you look at the
I need to look at
the
the
infographic.
That's
Yeah,
come back to, not the main announcement.
yeah. So instead of being orange, he becomes gray.
See, I think he needs to be silver, like metallic, right? Wouldn't that be cool? Now this makes sense. It makes sense because if he's a lava Pokemon
No,
and he
he's
cools
a
off,
magma.
Exactly. Magma.
Yep.
But so when he cools off, turns to stone essentially, right? So the shiny makes sense. I just kind of wanted metal, but
yeah, I mean it does make sense to a certain extent. Although lava rocks tend to be a bit darker in color than that. So.
Yeah, and when you involve them, it's what I don't remember.
Yeah, his evolution purple. I don't care for at all.
Yeah, it looks like purple Kermit with a hump on his back.
He's made out of yogurt now instead of lava.
It is like purple haze yogurt, from Quick Trip or something.
He's a Slurpee. So this event's gonna be a week long, January 7th. So that's tomorrow for those of us that are live, until Thursday, January 13th. And yeah, so it'll be curious to see what they do with the Season of Heritage. Yeah, I mean it's gonna be Johto themed, and from everything that we've seen from artwork so far, it seems like they're really leaning into mountains and caves. Almost as if they talked to Minecraft and said, "Hey, I hear you're doing the caves and cliffs update. So are we." So.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna throw this out to our listeners for help. Joe, you might be able to help me. I'm having an issue with my son's Minecraft. He ended up he was playing it on he had Ultimate Game Pass for a little while, and then we ended up canceling it because he got he it's no I was on his Xbox with Ultimate Game Pass. That's what it was, and then we ended up making him his own account because I got my new Xbox, and so you know it was a conflict of always trying to play. So we ended up buying him a disc, and it had all kind of extras and stuff to it. And at first, it wouldn't connect to the internet. So then we finally updated it, did something. We figured out something, and it updated fully. Now the disc stopped being recognized. Like all other discs work. I can put the disc in my Xbox. It works. Won't work in his Xbox anymore. So we bought him a digital copy, and it works, but it still won't update and show he's connected to the store so that he can get his stuff that he's bought before, right? So that's what I need help. Like somebody come help me with it. My Xbox One. I have a physical and a digital copy paid for of Minecraft, and he can play it, but he cannot access his store anymore to get all the free stuff and the stuff that he's bought with gift cards and whatever. So
Well, clearly, you just have to buy it all over again.
mm-hmm. So
all right, but yeah, good luck with that. I'm not sure.
hey, you know what?
I play it on my computer like it was meant to be played.
You know, I'm not giving him a computer. Tag me at Rock Got a Pod on Twitter, or email the show at PokemonGoPodcast.com if you can help me out, or if you're on Discord, hit me up if you can help me out with my Minecraft problem.
All right, so we've got an in-depth analysis. We're not going to go over the whole thing, but of Mega Aerodactyl. We're just going to cover the TLDR. But if you want to see some of the nitty gritty, this is a pretty huge write up from a Redditor by the name of Tebin54. Basically, Mega Aerodactyl will be, well, for now, the best rock type attacker for raids. Now, granted, this is Mega Aerodactyl, not regular. Mega Aerodactyl is the best improvement you can make to a single slot for your rock squad, which, makes sense because it's the best rock type attacker. But even for quote unquote short manning a raid, so if you're going with less people than what would be ideal, so it's better even compared to a single level 50 Pokemon or a Shadow Rampardos or Rhyperior. However, before you go crazy farming on this, in the end, it only saves you about 5 to 10 seconds of raid time, and it consumes mega energy. It's a temporary thing. So, and in the long term, Mega Aerodactyl will end up being outclassed by both new Megas and new Shadows. So, yeah. So it's great. Personally, I'm not that big into Megas because, again, it's a temporary thing. But yeah, so if you wanted to get a bunch of Mega Aerodactyl candy, it could be very helpful for raids.
There you go. I do remote raids mostly, so when I finally get in, you don't get locked out if you get in fast enough. I never even think to mega any of the Pokemon. I just take the Pokemon it suggests and jump right in and just start battling. I literally to this day, not intentionally, just because I forget it's there, I have not megaed a single Pokemon in this game.
Ever?
Ever.
I've done a couple of...
I don't mega raid. All right, sorry, go ahead.
I've only done a couple of megas, so like I said, megas just really aren't my thing.
Joe, I just socially mega. I don't really mega. I just socially mega.
Rocketti is calling you out. Do you even have enough candies to mega evolve any Pokemon?
I don't know. How do you find that out? I don't know.
There's probably a keyword you can type in to search to see if you can Mega Evolve anybody. Probably Mega.
I would not consider that calling it. Rock Eddie's listened to this show long enough. He is not calling me out. He's just like, hey, buddy, are you sure you can even ride that bike? That's a big boy bike. I don't think you can handle that bike. And you're probably right. And the New Year loading screen is active. That's been going on for a minute now. When did I never saw fireworks.
You completely froze on my end.
You did too for a minute.
So there actually is a button in the search criteria that says "Can Mega Evolve." So if you wanted to search,
all right.
So what were you saying about you never saw
I
fireworks?
think I missed out on the fireworks. I think I didn't log in during the 3 or 4 days they did it, and yeah, I missed out, and I'm a little sad because I like fireworks. I tell you, man, what was so cool is New Year's Eve. Yeah, everybody started sending your Happy New Year, and on my iPhone shoots off fireworks every time in the text. And on my watch, I had a button that I could hit it, and it just keep firing off fireworks on my watch, and it makes a little sound. It's so cool, so cool.
And let's just say one of the best parts about this new loading screen that they added is Growlithe being featured right up front. Love it.
Yeah, I see how much you love it. It's collecting dust back there, buddy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Love it. During one of my job interviews, the lady commented, "I see Pokemon back there, and I see Captain America, and I see Link's sword." So I'm like, "Yeah, this is where I record my podcast." And apparently, they actually looked up our website before the interview.
Oh, good. Look, Joe is the cleanest, nicest dude you'll ever know. He only sells meth part time. Don't worry about it.
I think you meant to say math. I sell math part time.
Yeah, wink, wink. That's what I was going to say.
Oh
uh,
man.
no, he's. I don't know that they'll listen. Why would they listen? And if they
No,
did listen,
she
why do you
said
listen to
she said she didn't listen to any of the
yeah.
episodes.
Why would you listen to a grown man with a faux hawk and a freaking onesie on? Yeah, don't listen to me. Pokemoners have found several changes, including Helioptile and Carbink. We're getting cars in the game. Let's do it.
No.
I have no idea who Helioptile and Carbink
are. So if you actually look at the new loading screen, you can see Helioptile just to the left of Growlithe.
All right, now I gotta click on that link again. Hold on.
So, and then Carbink, I believe that's Carbink in the bottom left as well, down below.
Okay, so
yeah, it is.
It is the Wish version of Banjo and Kazooie. Got it.
Yeah, so down at the bottom left, there's a couple of Carbinks, and Helioptile is that black and yellow-ish one to the left of Growlithe.
Uh-oh, I just closed something. Oh, is our show notes? That's awesome. I'll get it back, though.
Closing all the notes. But yeah, so those have been added to the game. There's been some references to them. Helioptile.
Well, when you say added to the game, they're in the code.
Yes, sorry, you're right. That we will preface that this is a Pokeminers, so they're added to the background. That does not mean they are actually ready to be caught or anything like that. This is upcoming changes that should theoretically be added to the game eventually. Now, that's not always the case. Sometimes they put stuff into the code that never actually ends up getting added to the game for the players to do anything with. So Helioptile. I don't know why it's so hard for me to say that. Will require a Sunstone to evolve. And then, so collision adjustments. So this is going to be the during the encounter, how far away they are to hit them with a Pokeball. So some of these have been changed. I mean, some of these people aren't in the game yet, like Helioptile, Heliolist, and Carbink. But then some that are in the game, Pikachu's range has been decreased, so you won't need to throw it as far. And then Bergmite and Avalug, which is, can people actually find wild Avalugs? I mean, maybe, but anyway, their collision adjustment, their range has been decreased significantly, so they've been brought in closer.
Yeah, I love that this range has been increased significantly because it's all behind the scenes. So it's from their alpha to their beta. We still don't know what the range is or what it was before.
Well, Bergmite's in the game, so, and so is Pikachu, so you could catch them. But yeah, and then they've adjusted the cameras to reflect that as well, and then they've adjusted the Galarian Slowpoke adjusted the capture rate. They've adjusted some of the purification costs as well. So Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. And they specifically mentioned the Halloween 2019 versions. The evolution cost has been changed. And then Absol can no longer evolve while purified. Interesting.
Why would that?
Does
Why would you lock that out?
Absol actually
Is Absol even
evolve?
evolve?
I mean, Absol can Mega Evolve, but okay.
And why would it matter? Would it matter just because Mega makes them that? I mean, Purified makes them more powerful, and so Mega or any evolving would be too much of a boost. I don't. Okay.
Anyway, yeah. So and there's a bunch of other things here and there. Positions have changed. Portraits have been added up, and little updates here and there. All in all, there's not going to be a huge difference to your game, based on what we've seen here. So, some the sprites are a little bit taller, or a little bit smaller, or a little bit closer, or a little bit farther away. So it just seems like they're trying to do some mild adjustments to the feel of the game in general, but the average player is not going to really notice. So,
am I your average player?
No, you're our less.
Brother Joe, when you were asked a question to boost somebody's ego, you say yes, sir.
Take me to church. Sure. If you repent, you can be better than average.
See, there you go. Now you're getting it. Now you're playing the ball game. Let's do that.
Oh,
Not
man.
a huge dive, but kind of cool. I like the new stuff. I always dig the new stuff coming in. Let's see. Is that all the headlines? It feels like there was so much more there. All right, let's see. I don't think we've had any new patrons in the last week, but I'm double checking right now. And no, we're good. If you would like to join our community and support the show, pledge your fealty to the Church of the Pokemon. Go to patreon.com/Pokemon Go Podcast and join up with us. It'd be awesome sauce there. And actually, I could use your help with the Church of the Pokemon by calling those speak pipes. Get your Poke requests in today with going to PokemonGoPodcast.com, right there on the right-hand side of the screen, clicking the speak pipe tab, and leaving a voicemail. If you don't like to do that, you can always email us, show at Pokemon Go Podcast. And I'll be more than happy to read your grievances, your Poke requests, and anything else you got for the Church of the Pokemons. I had this button ready, but
call in and leave your own sermon.
That's right. See if we can get Joe fired up. See if you can get Joe to put his preacher voice on.
Hey, you guys, this is Karen from the Lurda Podcast, and I just want to ask Joe what time it is.
It is time for random trivia. And this week I am going to talk about Slugma and its evolution Magcargo. They are both the lava Pokemon. Slugma is only a fire type. When it evolves into Magcargo and gets the rock shell on the back, it becomes fire rock type. Slugma's Pokedex entry says it never sleeps. It has to keep moving because if it stopped, its magma body would cool and harden. Interesting. So the shiny form.
Shiny.
Yeah, so the shiny form is just a lazy slugma.
Yeah. Yes.
The shiny, it's a lazy slugma. Its name is a combination of slug and magma, which is interesting because it's a lava Pokemon, not a magma Pokemon. I mean, I guess it depends on if it's underground or not. But yeah, so it debuted in Generation 2, which again is part of why it's being featured in the Heritage, the Season of Heritage, because it is focusing somewhat on Johto, but if you were paying attention earlier when we were talking about the Mountains of Power, you'll notice that a lot of those were also Gen 1 Pokemon. So, is what it is. But yeah, so that's part of why it's going to be, not debuting. Well, I guess its shiny form is debuting. But part of why it's going to be featured in the event that's going to be this next week. Mag Cargo. Its face really looks like a Muppet to me, personally.
Right?
Its Pokedex entry says, the shell on its back is just skin that has cooled and hardened. It breaks easily with a slight touch. Interesting. I wonder if its stats reflect that. Let me take a look at that. It actually has pretty high defense, so I would say its stats do not reflect that its shell is brittle. But then again, the stats don't always reflect the lore. Mag Cargo is a combination of Magma and Escargo. This is not one of the Pokemon that I would like to eat personally, but for those that like escargot,
have you had one before?
There are definitely some Pokemon that I am curious what they would taste like. I'm not gonna lie. So this Pokemon, if you don't have enough of it, or if you just really really like Slugma and Mag Cargo, go ahead and grab it this next week. Maybe you'll get a shiny. That would be awesome. But yeah, it's based off of a snail or a slug, depending on which one you're looking at. Slugma's based off of a slug. Mag Cargo is based off of a snail. But yeah, should be fun. And also, you should definitely take a look at the YouTube video. I'll have to link it in our show notes of what you call it. Why am I blanking on their name? Pokemon Professor. But anyway, it's the Dragon Con panel that featured Slugma. Yeah, the Pokédexpert digital Dragon Con digital media track 2021. I'll link the video in our show notes. It was a lot of fun. So
yeah, it was a blast. 2 years ago, you were on as a guest, and last year was Phil standing in for. It was hilarious. It was funny. It was good stuff. If you would like to join us, here's the different ways you can do that. Email us, show at PokemonGoPodcast.com. SpeakPipe is on that same website, Pokemon Go Podcast. Like I said, send me your Poke requests. Let me have something to run with and play with. Give Joe some grief. I'm all about it. Reddit's r/Pokemon Go Podcast, where you can go and see the discussions of the week, add your own topics, questions, headlines, whatever you'd like to do. Be a part of the community there. Vote what you'd like us to talk about, and see when we have time. Sometimes Joe gets in there really early and puts them up, and sometimes it's the night of the show. But either way, you can always be a part, and we check it before the show every time. Twitter's at Pokemon Go Pod. Twitch.tv is Pokemon Go Podcast, where you can join your brothers and sisters like JC718, Lenara Lurks, Mr. Terbury 19, Public Urinator. Public Enemy 821. Serena. No, I didn't say that right at all. Serena. School of the Rocks of Eddies. Sound Alerts, my favorite listener. And Weird Tigger 27. Where is my Squishy the Twitchy? What is going on with the
your favorite bot isn't here. What is up with that?
Again, they were here last week, but not 2 weeks ago. But you can join us Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, most Thursdays here on twitch.tv/Pokemon GO Podcast. Joe, where can they come and witness to you, sir?
You can find me on Twitter at Joseph_Ard. What about you, Charles?
I am the Rock God of Pod on Twitter and Rock God of Podcasting everywhere else. Charles McFall. You can look me up. You'll find me. Got a good website out there. And oneems.com is what I do with my EMS work. And yeah, so interesting stuff going on. Tune in next week to hear Brother _ say.
Search for Charles McFall Google Images. You'll find some great pictures.
No! Okay, come on. All right, get that brother out of here. We got to go have him repent. Bye, everybody.